okay, where we need a retention, where we need a strength, then we give a all metal crown in posterior teeth. So it's ideal for restoration of badly broken down, heavily restored, or endodontically treated posterior teeth. Another indication that when we want the maximum retention and resistance, then we will give the all metal crown. The third indication is the short clinical crowns. When there are short clinical crowns, then we will give all metal crown. So the fourth indication for all metal crown is sporting a denture with a prepared rest and guide planes, a milled crown. So this is another indication for the all metal crown, that this crown is also called a surveyed crown. So it sports a denture with prepared rest and guiding planes carved in it. So the fifth indication for all metal crown is a complete occlusal rehabilitation cases. So in a complete occlusal rehabilitation cases, we give the all metal crown. So all these are the indications for the all metal crown. So now contraindications, we cannot give all metal crown in a patient having uncontrollable caries because it does not protect the tooth against the biologic causes of caries. So in this condition, we will not give all metal crown. The second contraindication, that people allergic to metal, because all metal crown we made from the nickel chromium or cobalt chromium. So some patients having allergy to a nickel element, okay, and some patient having allergic to cobalt element. So we cannot give all metal crown in those patients having allergy to these elements. Then we will give all ceramic crown to those patients. So the third contraindication for the all metal crown is tooth with aesthetic requirement. Okay. For example, if patient came to us and he wants crown for the anterior teeth, so we cannot give all metal crown to the anterior teeth because of the aesthetic. Okay, because all metal is in metal in silver in color. Okay, so it's contraindication. Okay, so when patient came for the anterior tooth wants crown, then we cannot give all metal crown to anterior teeth because of aesthetic reason. This is another contraindication for the all metal crown. So now comes the advantages. What are the advantages of all metal crown? That high resistance and retention, that when we give the all metal crown we achieve the high resistance and retention. And the second advantage of the all metal crown, that it's fairly conservative prep, less destruction to tooth during preparation in comparison to metal ceramic and all ceramic crown. So when we compare the preparation for like metal ceramic or all ceramic, it is conservative as compared to metal ceramic and all ceramic. So less tooth destruction during the preparation. So it's fairly conservative. Now, what are the disadvantages of all metal crown? Number one is unaesthetic. We cannot give all metal crown to anterior teeth. Okay. So second disadvantage for the all metal crown, that removal of significant amount of tooth while preparation. Okay, so these are the disadvantages for all metal crown. Now come the procedural steps, how we prepare a tooth for an all metal crown. So the armamentarium used are the handpiece, the burr 171 L burr, the coarse grit round and tapered diamond burr, fine grit round and tapered diamond burr, medium grit short needle diamond burr, coarse grit tapered torpedo diamond burr, fine grit tapered torpedo diamond, and red utility wax. So all these armamentarium we are using to prepare a all metal crown. Okay. So first of all, what is the difference between coarse grade, medium grade, and fine grade? Basically, these are three types of burrs. Okay, three types of burr. Coarse grade means that excessively reduce the tooth, aggressive reduction. Okay, these kind of burrs create doing aggressive reduction. Okay, so medium grade less aggressive preparation. Okay, reduction, sorry, reduction. And fine grade is for smoothing. So basically, these are the three types of burrs, like coarse grade, medium grade, and fine grade. So from fine grade, it's for smoothing. So they are also like color coding on these burrs. In coarse grade burrs, there is a red band around the burr. Okay, and in medium grade, there is a blue band around the burr, and in fine grade you find a yellow band. So these are the color coding of these burrs as well. So now come to the procedural steps like technique. So first of all, we do the occlusal reduction. Then we will provide the inclined cusp, working cusp like functional cusp bevel, and then buccal lingual walls and margins, then interproximal walls and margins, then rounding of corners and joining up margins, then extra retention features. If we need, we will give extra retention features, then check the occlusion, refine the margins, and smooth any sharp angles. So these are the steps which we follow during the preparation of a tooth for all metal crown. So first of all, occlusal reduction. So in occlusal reduction, full coverage crown is begin with occlusal reduction. So creating about 1.5 millimeter of clearance on the functional cusp and 1 millimeter on the non-functional cusp. So we have to reduce the occlusal surface, and we should follow the morphology of the occlusal anatomy and reduce like this. Okay. So that is called planar occlusal reduction. So we have to reduce the functional cusp about 1.5 millimeter and non-functional cusp 1 millimeter for all metal crown. So the first step is to produce the depth orientation grooves. The depth orientation grooves, like first step is to produce depth orientation grooves. It tells us about the reduction amount, that the how much we reduce the tooth. So when you are placing the depth orientation groove, the second step is to joining these grooves. Okay, and then start reducing the occlusal surface, and always like follow the morphology of the occlusal anatomy. Don't make it flat. So that is called planar occlusal reduction. So depth orientation groove placed on the occlusal surface of a tooth to provide an easy reference to determine with reduction is sufficient. So depth orientation groove is also tells us the reduction is sufficient or not. So occlusal reduction, depth orientation grooves, then joining these grooves. So we reduce the occlusal surface with the round and tapered diamond burr. Okay, always, like when we reduce the occlusal surface, we are using round and tapered diamond burr. Okay, we can use coarse grade round and tapered diamond burr or medium grade round and tapered diamond burr. So the important point is, like we reduce the functional cusp up to 1.5 millimeter and non-functional cusp 1 millimeter. So the occlusal reduction, we are using the round and tapered diamond burr. Okay, and then for smoothing we are using 171 L bar. Okay, so we reduce the occlusal surface according to the morphology or anatomy of the occlusal surface. That is called planar occlusal reduction. We cannot make it flat. Okay, so when we have completed the occlusal reduction, the second step is to provide the functional cusp bevel. So functional cusp bevel is provided on the functional cusp. For example, if you are working on the mandibular posterior teeth, so the functional cusp are the buccal cusp. Okay, so functional cusp are provided on the buccal cusp in the mandibular posterior teeth. And for example, if you are working on the maxillary posterior teeth, the functional cusp are the palatal cusp. So you have to provide functional cusp bevel on the palatal cusp of the maxillary posterior teeth. Okay. So the facial inclines of the mandibular facial cusp and the palatal inclines of the maxillary palatal cusp, where we provide the functional cusp bevel. So, failure to place this bevel can produce a thin casting or poor morphology in the restoration. So, for example, if we cannot provide functional cusp bevel, so uh, the crown is not structurally durable. Okay, if we cannot provide functional cusp bevel, our crown is not like structurally durable. So we provide the functional cusp bevel at a 45-degree angle with axial walls, and the depth of the functional cusp bevel is 1.5 millimeter. So there should not be a sharp angle or ridges where planes or bevel join. This is an important point. So when you have finished with the occlusal reduction, when you have finished with the functional cusp bevel, then you have to reduce the buccal and the lingual walls and margin. So we are preparing a tooth for all metal. As you all know that we have to give a chamfer finish line. So for that purpose, we are using torpedo burr. Okay, we are using torpedo burr to make a chamfer finish line. So chamfer is the best, providing the bulk needed for strength while still allowing good adaptation. So for making chamfer finish line, we are using torpedo burr as you see in the picture, the shape of the burr. So we reduce the buccal and lingual surface 1 millimeter, and we will provide chamfer finish line supragingival 0.5 millimeter supragingival, the chamfer finish line, and the width of the chamfer finish line is also 0.5 millimeter. So when you have finished and start finished with the buccal and the lingual surface, and you have made the chamfer finish line on the buccal and the lingual surface, then the next step, you will break the contact. For breaking the contact, you have to use the needle shaped bar. Okay, you have to use the needle shaped bar. Or before breaking the contact, apply the wedges and matrix band to save the adjacent teeth. Okay, for saving the adjacent teeth, this is the first principle: preservation of tooth structure. So whenever we are doing the tooth preparation, we have to save the adjacent teeth, as well as the on the tooth which we have performing the procedure. We also avoid the over reduction. Okay, for example, if we are doing over reduction on the tooth on which we are working, then we violate the first principle of tooth preparation, that is preservation of tooth structure. So in regarding preservation of tooth structure, we have to save the adjacent teeth, as well as we are be careful when while we are working on the tooth. Okay, we cannot do the over reduction. If we are doing over reduction, it means that we are violating the first principle. So we start now breaking the contact after applying the wedges and matrix band with the help of the needle shade bar. When the contact is break, then we gain access for the torpedo bar again. Okay, and then we make a chamfer finish line, the mesial and the distal with the same torpedo bar, and we have to reduce the mesial and distal surface 1 millimeter. So all axial surfaces in all metal crown, we have to reduce 1 millimeter. Okay, so the finish line is chamfer. So all the axial surfaces are smoothed with the fine grit tapered torpedo diamond, whose size and shape enable to finish the chamfer finish line as well. So after making the chamfer finish line, use a fine grit bar to make the chamfer finish line more smooth, and it should be continuous as well. So when you are making the chamfer finish line, it ensures the marginal integrity all around the tooth. So seating groove, this is a feature which we have give on the buccal surface of the mandible posterior teeth, or we can give this seating groove feature on the palatal surface of the maxillary posterior teeth. So it will prevent any rotational tendency and during cementation, and it will help guide the casting into the place, and also it ensures the complete seating of the crown in patient's mouth. So we will give this feature as well. This is called seating groove. So we make this groove with the bar. 171L bar, which is carbide bar. So in this picture, you will see the prepared tooth for all metal. So you see the features. What are the features? So I'm repeating it again. The first step is to reduce the occlusal surface, and we are using the round and taper diamond bar for reduction, for the occlusal reduction, and we will reduce the occlusal surface. Functional cusp 1.5 millimeter and non-functional cusp 1 millimeter. Okay, and we should follow the anatomy of the occlusal surface or morphology of the occlusal surface, and we reduce like this. That is called planar occlusal reduction. When we did planar occlusal reduction, it will ensure the structural durability in the crown. So the next step is to provide the functional cusp bevel. So functional cusp bevel is always provided on the functional cusp. For example, if we are working on the mandibular posterior teeth, the functional cusp are the buccal cusp. So we have to provide this bevel on the buccal cusp in mandibular posterior teeth. Or when we are working on the maxillary posterior teeth, the functional cusp are the palatal cusp. So we will provide the functional cusp bevel on the maxillary posterior palatal cusp. So this functional cusp also provide structural durability in the crown. So when you have finished with the occlusal reduction, functional cusp bevel, then you start reducing the axial surfaces like buccal surface, lingual surface, mesial and distal. Okay. For this surface, you are using the torpedo bar because you have to make the chamfer finish line. The width of chamfer finish line is 0.5 millimeter. When and you reduce the axial surfaces 1 millimeter, okay, with a 6-degree taper. So when you follow these things, then it will provide the retention and resistance of our full metal crown. So the chamfer finish line ensures the marginal integrity in the crown and also periodontal preservation. So the last feature, which is the seating groove we have made on the buccal surface. If we are working on the mandibular posterior teeth, and if we are working on the maxillary posterior teeth, we provide the seating groove on the palatal surface. So this seating grooves ensures the complete seating of the prepared crown in patient's mouth, and it will provide retention and resistance in our crown. So, so again, this is another picture which shows the prepared tooth for all metal when we have completed the preparation, like planar occlusal reduction, which aids in structural durability, functional cusp bevel aids in structural durability, the axial reduction. Axial reduction means buccal, lingual, mesial, and distal reduction provide the retention and resistance, and this seating groove also provide the retention and resistance. So which types of burrs we are using for occlusal reduction? We are using the round and tapered diamond bar. Okay. For functional cusp bevel, same round and tapered bar. For the axial reduction, we are using torpedo bar because we have to make the chamfer finish line, and width of chamfer finish line is 0.5 millimeter. And for contact breaking, we are using the needle shade bar. So by this, we have complete the tooth preparation for the all metal full coverage crown. So thank you.